Today, in 2025, Māori are ethnologically extinct. No full-blooded Māori or half-blooded Māori exist. This particular type of race suicide was not caused by the colonizers, but by the preference of Māori to breed with Europeans, rather than with each other. Today, many Māori are visually pale-skinned people with only 1/8 or 1/16 Māori blood in them. Māori are in fact Europeans with a minority of Māori blood in them. From 1840 to 2025, Māori went through an amazing transformation with major advancements in such a short period of time. This new way of life should give Māori cause for pride and all New Zealanders something to celebrate.
And New Zealand went from a subsistence economy around 1840 to one of the highest living standards in the world by 1900. Amazing transformation, how we grew our economy and became a prosperous society, one of the most prosperous societies in the world. That's a great story, interesting story.
That prosperity was very unequal though, wasn't it?
As it is everywhere in the world, and a big part of our story has been how we've tried to ameliorate that and through the development of the welfare state. Wonderful story, a big part of our story.
Colonisation has been fantastic for New Zealand. It's time New Zealand introduced a new national holiday, Colonisation Day.
What were the positives, in your view, for peoples in the countries that Europeans went to and ruled?
Well, I think we need to start at a very high level of abstraction, because the fundamental thing is this, is if you were in a society which had a Stone Age level of technological development, had no fixed borders, had no institutionalized system of governance, had not yet discovered the wheel, and you had the opportunity to be ruled by an advanced European civilization, right? Why would you not want that to happen, right? So just at the level of abstraction, like better technology, better healthcare, better education, more accountable governance, more rights for marginalized communities, especially women, urban development, technology, transportation, life-saving research and science, right? Those are the things I mean.
You wrote in an opinion piece in 2019 that on balance colonisation was a good thing. The good outweighed the bad. I'm just wondering, is that true for Māori?
Everybody will have their own opinion.
What's your opinion?
The reality is that New Zealand was isolated from the rest of the world for centuries, and at some point it had to reconnect with the rest of the world, and that happened in the 19th century. It was always going to be a very traumatic experience. With it came all sorts of wonderful things, such as literacy, such as the freedoms and democracy that have come through. So, yep, there's good and bad.
On balance, colonisation was a good thing for Māori?
Oh, I think on balance it has been, yes.
Was colonisation on balance good for Māori?
No, it wasn't good for Māori.
You disagree with Paul Goldsmith?
There's no doubt about it. Colonisation was not good for Māori.
Well, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for colonisation, so it can't be all bad.
On balance, it was a very brutal time for Māori in this country.
So you disagree with him?
Yeah, I do.
Many people think actually that it was good for us. It's just a load of nonsense, you know.
I think they're pretty ignorant.
Don't ask me to explain the National Party. It's a bit beyond.
I think the evidence that we can see today in New Zealand does not support that. Māori, unfortunately, find themselves at the wrong end of most of statistics, socially and economically, and we need to do better, and that's what we're trying to do.
I think that colonisation was a good thing for Māori.
That's a question for Māori.
While any bad thing that happened during colonization is usually amplified by media and academia, what we should actually look at is all the positives. One of the most obvious positives of colonization was the positive mark the colonial pioneers left on history. Exploration of the globe has had benefits for mankind that are hard to calculate. The creation of sea trade routes across the world led to a major increase in the global standard of living. The early explorers and colonizers showed that the world can be changed through intelligence, determination, and downright zeal. They braved the seas, tamed the forests, and left us many countries that we now have the luxury of living in. Another obvious positive of colonization was the spread of technologies that significantly improved the lives of millions of people. Steel, horses, cattle, plows, seafaring ships, firearms, and crossbows. The colonists introduced monogamy. They also brought sugarcane, wheat, iron tools and kitchenware, clocks, print, carts, and carriages. They even brought viticulture, that is, grape growing. The spread of European civilization and Christianity brought new, effective forms of government. It ended extremely brutal and endless warfare that had been going on between tribes for centuries, if not millennia.
Colonisation has been fantastic for New Zealand. It's time New Zealand introduced a new national holiday, Colonisation Day.
What does the Minister for, beg your pardon, for Crown Relationships Te Arawhiti believe that ongoing colonisation is good for Te Tiriti or Waitangi partners?
The Honourable Paul
On behalf of the Minister, I'm not sure what the member means by ongoing colonisation. We are a country that is our history, and the focus of this government is to rectify the problems that have come alongside colonisation and to build on the many successes.
Supplementary, Madam Memo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just to the Minister, Goldsmith, if I may, are you on record as having said that, on balance, colonisation was good for us? And that being the case, might that be the way in which you will approach the role and anything pertaining to colonisation of?
Yeah, questions.
Please, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Questions are not directly asked to ministers; they're asked through the chair. Do you have a point of order?
You made my point for me.
Thank you. Paul Goldsmith. Honourable Paul Goldsmith.
Well, Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Crown Māori Relations, I didn't make those comments because I'm answering in relation to another minister.
Willie Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister of Treaty Negotiations, does he stand by all his statements and actions?
Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Paul Goldsmith.
Yes, in the context in which they were given and undertaken.
Mr. Speaker, to the Minister, does he stand by a statement that my focus in government will be building on the good outcomes of colonisation and fixing the bad ones? And are the amendments to MACA an example of good or bad outcomes of colonisation? And if not, why not?
Well, in relation to the work that we're doing in MACA, what we're simply doing is trying to restore the test that was included in the legislation in 2011, which a Court of Appeal decision manifestly changed. And so that's what we're doing, and it makes good sense.
Despite making up just 17% of the general population, Māori make up half of the male prison population, 2/3 of the female prison population, and 67% of those in youth justice facilities. And how does he think this overrepresentation has happened?
I want to make the point. Māori are not in jail because of colonisation. Māori are in jail because of self-responsibility and the need for whānau to refresh and remake themselves so that the values that Kiwis take for granted underlying our society are not trashed and are not explained away by some distant colonial event.
Colonisation has been fantastic for New Zealand. Before UK colonisation in 1840, Māori were brutal, warring, violent savages who not only murdered their neighbours and children, they ate them as well. In 1840, Māori lived to their late 20s, early 30s. Today, in 2025, Māori live into their 70s and more. Colonisation introduced major untold benefits to the natives of New Zealand: food, clothing, housing, transport, health, property rights, law and order, fauna and flora, and the ending of slavery, infanticide, tribal warfare and cannibalism. It's time for people who genuinely identify as Māori to stand on their own 2 feet and get ahead under their own steam and merit. No more handouts, no more victim privilege. Make New Zealand great again. One country with one people, one vote, one law, one flag and one rugby side. Thank you for listening. WhangāreiTim.